Hey guys, today we're going to be looking at yet another AI video generation model that may be the next real Sora killer. The model we're looking at is called VEO, and it's one of many new AI tools Google just announced. At a glance, VEO does share many similarities to Sora, such as the ability to generate consistent video with realistic physics in high-quality 1080p that can also exceed 1 minute in length, which is pretty impressive. We're going to be taking a look at some short clips together, then a 1-minute clip. We'll also dive into more details, features of VEO, and also give you my thoughts on how it compares to Sora. So here's the first clip, and the prompt is: a lone cowboy rides his horse across open plain at beautiful sunset. Let's take a look at that footage again. I think it definitely hits all the marks from the prompt. And what's really cool is if you look at this frame here, you can actually see more detail on the pants. The colors are coming in. The colors of the horse is also coming in as the lens flare from the sun illuminates the front. Moving on to this next one, which is basically a going through a suburban street. This one's not the most impressive example here, which is just basically a kebab and barbecue. They are definitely ripping this off from Sora, and a lot going on. A lot of high fidelity detail on the waves crashing in, nice drone shot. But because we've already seen a better version of this from Sora, this becomes not as impressive, unfortunately. Now, this one of the jellyfish inside, the water is actually pretty impressive. Everything is quite consistent. And again, going back to the lack of fidelity, I think other than that, it's looking pretty good. Now, this really shows how consistent this video model is, which is very impressive, right? Yeah, time lapses are always fun to watch. I can only imagine a video generated by AI that's not a real flower, but like an alien flower. That could be very interesting. Another really fun example here, they are using prompts of a knitted elephant in the savannah. Very cute and cuddly. We have a better version of this one as well, which you can see here. And I guess this is the mother or father of that little cute little elephant. So this one is very impressive. Again, like imaginary thing, animal walking through. All the movement seems good. Even the heat wave in the background can be seen as well. Some more nature videos. Quite realistic. And here's another Sora-ish type of video where we're tracking with the cycler. Yeah, I think that's pretty realistic here. This was another impressive example, and we'll talk more about this as well. But this one is not from a text prompt. It is based on a image prompt. And then they added a text prompt on top of that. Basically, we have a generated image of some llamas in sunglasses and sweater in front of a graffiti wall, which was used to generate the image. And then they added a video prompt, which was llamas dancing. Unfortunately, I think it kind of missed the actual prompt of dancing llamas, or maybe, this is how llamas actually dance, because they're not, humans. But what's impressive is that the dynamic of how these three llamas kind of interact. They all move at their own time, like individuals, not some computer-generated, clones or anything. They have different mouth shapes. They're all doing their own thing, and this one's coming way forward. And this is the thing that's most impressive, and why I think this may be a Sora competitor in reality, because no other existing models that we have access to the public, such as Beagle Labs or Stable Video Diffusion or even Gen 2, they can't give you this much of a dynamic movement when you're using their models, right? Like we went from a straight line to this final image and all the nuances in between them. So I think, like, out of all the different examples that we've seen, this one was the most exciting one. I think even the nostrils are kind of flaring up. That was a nice touch if you look right here. So I'm no llama expert, but that looks like an actual llama breathing and living amongst us. All right, so now let's go to the actual website. We'll take a look at some of the features before we take a look at that 1-minute video that I said we would be taking a look at. So these are all the prompts and examples that we looked at. And some controls for us, because control is very important when we're doing filmmaking. So we have the initial video prompt here, which is a drone shot along Hawaii jungle coastline, sunny day. Very nice shot. But we can kind of regenerate that image by adding certain elements, such as drone shot along Hawaii jungle coastline, sunny day, and then plus kayaks in the water. So now you have the same video footage, and then we added kayaks. So this is called kind of like in painting. The interesting thing is the camera movement and overall composition is the same, but the overall image has changed a bit, right? To me, it almost looks like it kind of overburnt the image on the second iteration. Everything is a lot more contrasty than the existing video, along with adding more details in it. So this was an interesting feature, but again, I mean, a very useful feature indeed. In addition to that one, we can generate video from not only from text, but a mix of text and image prompts. And this is exactly what I was talking about. And this is one that really shows how good this model is, in my opinion, in getting it closer as a competitor to Sora, or, you know, better video generation models. Also saying that it's able to extend them to 60 seconds and beyond, right? Which is really cool, not only from a single prompt or by given sequence of prompts, which together tell a story. So let's take a look at this video here. So we start from this cyber bird's eye view. And then now the camera's pushing in. Kind of did like a space-time warp transition there, I guess, into a neon cyber video game-like chase scene. Reminds me of Need for Speed. Then we're going to do another transition. I think that was a pretty seamless transition into a tunnel. Same car. And then finally into our last transition. And now the whole scene has become very realistic. And now we're in Hong Kong, roadside apparently. And here's the different prompts that we used. So finally, we're going to take a look at comparing this balloon guy here that we looked at to Sora's own version, which was this really cool short film that some of you may have seen, very realistically done. Now, just by looking at it at a glance, Sora does have a lot more detail in their video. I mean, look at this shot. Like, I really can't tell if this is AI generated or not, because not only how consistent everything is and the physics of how everything's moving, but the blades of grass, I think that getting that amount of detail, I think that's what sells. Now, on the hands, you can kind of tell that the muscular structure and the way that his hair follicles are falling is a little weird. But yeah, I mean, overall quality, obviously some of the faces are starting to get mangled. You can see that it is definitely AI generated. I don't know what's happening there. But again, I mean, at a glance, Sora is still very, very much so impressive on the complexity of what it can do. With all of these shots have many, many people in them, right? Whereas, we don't have any people in the examples of VEO yet. We have this guy, right? Which on its own right, I think it's working great, but definitely a lot simpler, right? Like it's one subject, not a lot happening in the background, no people, but everything else is there. Which is why my conclusion on this new VEO model is that I think it is definitely the closest competitor to Sora that we have. And the exciting thing is because it's coming from Google and they own YouTube, and on their website, they're suggesting that they're going to give access to creators initially, and then also want to roll it out into a feature in YouTube Shorts potentially, and some other products. So that's very promising, right? I mean, once we get anything like that, this is going to revolutionize the creative industry as we know it, just looking at what type of content you can create, even though some of these are much simpler than Sora, because it looks so real and it acts so real. I mean, this is definitely a new paradigm shift that we'll be moving on to. So, I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think VEO is a Sora killer? What do you think will release their model to the public first? OpenAI or Google? Because that is going to, make or break who really succeeds early on in the game. Leave a comment below and subscribe to my channel for more exciting news and tutorials related if you're interested in AI visual creations. Thank you very much. This was BKDJ. See you next time.